warming up, I kind of play anything, and I'm trying to get these fingers loosened and work out different bowings, both long bows and short bows, and cover all the different strings. I'm trying to warm up my fourth finger because that's sometimes the hardest to move whenever you're just playing. And then ever since I stopped having violin lessons formally, my practice sessions are a lot less structured. At first I was trying to keep up with some of the things that I was practicing for my lessons, like formal scales, different variations of those scales, and then some of the same pieces and songs that I was working on. But I've kind of digressed from that, and I've kind of had more just informal practice sessions or practicing songs that I would like to play. And I usually use a metronome, and I'll tune before I start playing, before I warm up. Sometimes I'll play around a little bit to warm up my fingers, and then I'll tune. And then I kind of get into some songs. I don't really practice much technique anymore, which I probably should. So maybe this video will keep me accountable and will get me back into pulling out that scale book and some of those method books and kind of getting back into that stuff. One song that I randomly pulled out right now is Soulbound from Taylor Davis. So I'm gonna work on that with a metronome, and then there's a couple of Irish fiddle tunes that I'm gonna practice that I would hopefully like to record, and they've got multiple different parts. And then something that I've also been doing is not necessarily standing up and using sheet music or using a mirror to kind of keep check on my form when I'm playing songs that I've memorized, but I actually work on the computer where I have sheet music on the computer, and then I'm kind of playing along there if I decide not to print it. Sometimes I also, actually I do this kind of a lot, but I'll play along to a song on YouTube, or if I've got it on my iTunes, and I'll just sit down and I'll just kind of practice it by ear, and so I'll show that a little bit too. I have this nifty thing, I don't know how visible it is, but it's basically a violin stand, and I don't really keep my violin on it, but I do keep my bow. I usually like to keep my violin on a flat surface so that I can pick it up very easily during a practice session. So this piece of furniture, I'm not sure if that's visible in the camera, is actually very convenient for me. This song has a key change, and let's see what else. There's a couple of spots I missed in there. I was warming up to the key, and I was warming up to the beat and the melody and how it goes. So I'll try to redo a couple of those spots that I know I missed. All right, that's great. Yeah, so I'll shift into third position there, so. All right, what else we got? Super high position later. So this song, it does go through a key change, and then it gets kind of up high into like fifth position, so that stuff always is a struggle for me. So sometimes I'll focus on that And then sometimes I'll practice it again all the way through. Sometimes I also practice it with the backtrack that Taylor created, and that is also very helpful to kind of get the general flow for the song and to learn to kind of keep going despite any mistakes I make. So that's a little bit of the type of practice that I do standing up. And 1 and 2 and... So sometimes when I'm practicing, I'll play along to YouTube videos just because that's the audio. And then other times I'll have some kind of sheet music. Sometimes it's an arrangement I put together myself off of like a combination of different sheet music, or if I'm trying to combine two songs. So working on something someone requested. So I put together a little bit of sheet music that I found for Game of Thrones.